Here are some fun curses you can add to your role-playing game to add some fun chaos. These curses aren't super debilitating, but they're more of an annoyance and offer some super fun role-playing. Their effects don't come on immediately, but tend to show up in a day or two and can last 24 hours or until they have them removed as the DM decides. The DM can choose how they learn they have the curse, whether by slipping them a note or describing what is happening to them. Curse number 1. Your warrior, Phil, goes into town to get some clues as to where the mayor's missing daughter has gone. He sees a guy walking on the street and asks him if he has seen the mayor's daughter. The gentleman immediately covers his eyes and says, "Whoa, what a glare!" and won't look the warrior in the eye. Other people walk by and react the same way. "Man, what's with the glare? Dude, point that somewhere else." They all point to the warrior's head. What the heck? Phil isn't wearing his helm. Wherever he goes, it's the same reaction. "It's your forehead, man. There's a glare," someone says. After some careful consideration, Phil wonders if that click he heard when opening that chest 2 days ago had something to do with this. It did. He now has the curse of the super shiny forehead. Curse number 2. The party gathers behind some grates outside of the warehouse, going over their plan in a whisper on how to sneak in and steal the map from the bandits that outlines their attack for tomorrow. Okay, the rogue is going to go in there, sneak up those stairs, and try that door to see if we can use that door to get into the warehouse, the bard says. The barbarian says, "And then you want me to smash those 2 bandits' heads together?" He yells, pointing at 2 bandits only 20 yards away. The rest of the party is stunned. "Shush! I was just making sure I knew what to do." "You gave us away with that yelling, you idiot," they whisper as the bandits start coming over toward the group. "I'm trying to whisper. I can't help it." He can't help it, as he has been hit with the curse of loud talking, where the afflicted only has 1 volume, super loud. If you want more homebrew ideas that 10x the fun around your table, then be sure to join the family and hit that subscribe button. Adria, the wood elf bard, is in a tavern and casually looks over at a guy at the next table. While she is looking at him, her eye twitches. The guy smiles and winks at her. She smiles back. Her eye twitches again. This time the man's wife is watching. She jumps up and says, "Get up, elf! You think you can just hit on my husband?" She is a rather large woman, and Adria manages to retreat from the bar. That was weird. He was hitting on me. Later, when the party accepts an offer from the local thieves guild to rescue the daughter of the master thief, the thief tells them they only will get paid if they bring her back alive. Adria says, "Okay, got it. Bring her back alive." And her eye twitches. The master thief says, "Only alive." "Oh, sure, alive. Yep, understood." Eye twitches again. The master thief springs at Adria. "This isn't some game. I mean it. Stop winking at me." "Winking? I wasn't winking." Wait, the eye twitch. Is that what happened at the bar? Yep, that's it. Adria has been cursed with the curse of involuntary winking. Curse 4. As the party walks into what seems to be a pretty friendly town, the townsfolk are milling around, shopping, while a shopkeep sweeps the front porch of his establishment. Everyone is smiling until he lays eyes on Cedric, the lawful good human paladin. When they see him, their smile melts and is replaced with what looks like hatred. In fact, as he walks past the storekeeper, the old man runs out and takes a swing at him. "That face," he says. Cedric deftly avoids it and is like, "What the heck?" Another lady is holding hands with her husband, smiling, and walking along the street. When she sees the paladin, she screams, "Ugh, that face!" and lunges at him with her fist in the air. He dodges her and is like, "What is wrong with these people? Do they hate paladins? Are these people evil or something?" When the party enters the tavern, several people jump up and say, "That face!" and come after Cedric. Cedric's face is the problem, or more specifically, the curse he got in the ancient temple yesterday. It gives him a punchable face, where anyone who sees him has a strong urge to punch him in the face. Curse 5. The party is in the ancient library, hoping to find the location of the sunken temple they're looking for. The master acolyte hands the party an ancient journal that is believed to have the information they need. It is written in Sylvan, and the party asks Freda, the half-elf ranger, to see if she can read it. When they hand it to her, she has the overwhelming urge to taste it. She promptly licks the cover of the book. The rest of the party and the master acolyte are horrified at this. "What is wrong with you?" the cleric asks. "I don't know," Freda replies. What was that? 2 days later, the party is sitting at the bar at the Elf Song Tavern, a bustling tavern in Baldur's Gate. While they're sitting at the bar, Freda has her feet up on the copper bar that runs along the bottom of the bar where patrons can put their feet up when they sit on the stools. She wonders how many feet have been up on that bar and thinks, I would imagine that bar hardly ever gets clean. The thought comes to her, I wonder what that would taste like. Oh no. She promptly drops down and runs her mouth across the whole bar while her companions and many of the other patrons watch in horror. She is horrified as she does it. She can't help it. She is compelled to by the curse of involuntary licking. Fun fact, this curse was inspired by a true story. My wife and I were at Disney World and we saw a toddler running its mouth on a handrail where the parents were right next to it. They didn't stop it. I still have nightmares about that. Curse 6. When Gormlaith the Warlock wakes up from her long rest in the dungeon with the rest of the party, she definitely smells death. That isn't how you want to start your day. The rest of the party remarks that they too can smell death. As they traverse the rest of the dungeon, the smell of death lingers, and after a while the party realizes it seems to be strongest around Gormlaith. Is that your familiar? The party asks. Maybe some spell components that have gone bad? Not that she knows. It definitely smells like something died is the consensus. The group realizes the smell seems to dissipate when the warlock hasn't spoken for a good while. Yes, this poor warlock has been cursed with carrion breath, where the afflicted has breath that smells like rotten meat. Curse 7. Raymax realizes he must need a haircut. His hair keeps getting in his eyes. But that doesn't make sense. His hair was cut very short. He tries to move it out of his eyes, but it doesn't seem to get out of his eyes. He also seems to have trouble with blinking his eyes. It's like the eyelids are so heavy. Whoa, sorcerer, what's with your eyelashes? Kendria the druid asks. They are like really long. What? Raymax looks at himself in the reflection from the warrior's shield. His eyelashes are impossibly long. That is pretty weird. The bard offers up some small shears he uses for primping for his performances, and the sorcerer managed to cut the lashes back to a reasonable length. The next morning, they're twice the size and blocking his vision again. Raymax is afflicted with the curse of severe eyelash growth. This, too, is based on a true story. I've always had long eyelashes. As a little boy, women would stop us and say, he has the longest eyelashes. It's not fair. Not long ago, I noticed my eyelashes were a little long and I had to use an eyelash crimper to curl them a bit so they wouldn't interfere with each other. I asked my mom what to do when they get longer still. Am I going to have to flip them up on my head and do like a comb over? We laughed so hard we were crying over that one. Curse number 8. The parties disguised themselves as noblemen and women to attend the mayor's feast. The bard used his makeup kit and disguise kit to do his best to make your party of seasoned adventurers look like nobles who stay indoors and haven't worked a day in their lives. The plan is to blend in and look around so they can gather intel for the heist that they're planning later. All is going well until the mayor walks by and sees Aphie, the female warrior who looks stunning in her peach evening gown. Her beauty isn't what catches his eye, but the startled look on her face with her eyebrows raised. My dear, it looks like you have heard some shocking news. Aphie says, No, not at all, and now looks furious as her eyebrows angle in and slant. Whoa, sorry, I didn't mean anything by it. Aphie's eyebrows flatten out and move closer to her eyes, and she now looks worried. I am so sorry. Please don't worry. It's okay. Why don't you tell me what's bothering you? Now Aphie's eyebrows start dancing up and down and scrunch and release seemingly with a life of their own. Aphie is the unfortunate victim of the curse of the hyperactive eyebrows. Curse number 9. Toma, the Minotaur barbarian, is pretty intimidating, and he really likes the effect he has on others. People move out of his way when they see him coming. He is confident and fierce in battle. Lately, though, he's noticed something that kind of undermines his whole persona. It started in the battle with the orcs when he swung his big battle axe and a trail of glitter came out of the axe following the arc of his swing. He figured it was something the orc chieftain had done. Another time when he picked up his battle axe by the door of the tavern, a bunch of glitter fell from it. He figured someone was pulling a prank on him and putting glitter on his battle axe. He was sure it was the bard. He is always messing around. The worst thing was when he went to shake hands with the blacksmith when they agreed on a price for silvering his axe. The blacksmith looked down and saw he had a handful of glitter from Tomei's hand. This isn't a prank. This is the curse of shedding glitter. Curse number 10. Andir the dwarf fighter wants to get his axe sharpened and have the leather replaced on his great axe. He wanders into town looking for the blacksmith while the rest of his party explores the town. As he heads in the direction that the barkeep said the blacksmith was, he notices what looks like rock candy in the window of a candy store. He hasn't had good homemade rock candy since he was a small tyke. As he enters the shop, the smell of all the candy makes his mouth water. Wow, this really takes him back. All around are wonderful treats of all different colors and shapes. His eyes gravitate to a barrel of rock candy. He grabs a handful that smell like they might be his favorite, raspberry, and heads to the counter. Would you like to sample a chocolate owlbear? The halfling woman behind the counter asks. Absolutely, Andy responds. The woman grabs some metal tongs from under the counter and moves to reach toward a glass jar of chocolates behind the counter. Suddenly, the tongs fly from her hand and sticks to Anders' face. Startled, Anders has to fight like crazy to pry the tongs from his face. A metal spoon from across the room flies at him. He narrowly dodges it. The small locks that dangle from all the small candy chests in the store start rattling and pulling toward the dwarf. Anders flees the store, his eyes huge with amazement. What the heck? What a weird candy store that is. After pulling himself together, he continues on to the blacksmith. As soon as he enters the store, a dozen knives fly at him from all over the store. The swords in a barrel near the door start rattling. Soon, every small metal item flies at the dwarf, and all larger pieces rattle all across the store. Andor begins to believe he is magnetic, which is true, because that chest he opened yesterday cursed him with magnetism, where all small metal objects are attracted to him. Curse 11. As the party gathers in their room in the tavern, they make plans on how they're going to approach the vampire's lair. Nitzori, the tiefling rogue, points to the back of the old manor on the map and says, I think we should approach from this side. She looks a little puzzled after she says this. The paladin says, that's a great idea. Those big old trees in the back should block out the moon and give us great shadows. Nitzori says, yes, and I can sneak up to the door and check to see if it's locked. She covers her mouth and thinks to herself, locked. Why did I say that? The cleric offers to use his unseen servant to check the lock. I've got it, the rogue replies. At this, the party's now looking at her. What is wrong with you? The ranger asks, are you having a stroke or something? I don't know. Nitzori is afflicted with the curse of double ending, where she's compelled to say the end of every sentence twice. Remember, friends are the family you choose, and role-playing is always better with family. Class dismissed.